What's up, YouTube? Today is the day. It is Tuesday, August 18th. It is inspection day for the Ferrari. Now, this morning I went down there and I detailed the engine bay. I shot a video. I'm going to go ahead and we'll probably do the video at the end. Now, I'm not sure yet. That part's irrelevant. I did an engine bay cleaning because it was desperately needed. We had radiator fluid all over the engine bay from when we were purging the system. Not to mention the car sat in this shop for 6 months, 5 months, a little bit over 5 months. So the engine bay was just dirty. The car was dirty. I cleaned basically the back half of the car. I wanted to stay away from the front half, of course, because it's unpainted yet, which is hopefully going to change tomorrow. So the inspector's coming, I think 2 p.m. It's about 1 o'clock now. I'm going back down there to prep for the inspector. What I mean by prep is, we're going to make sure, we ran the car this morning, but we're going to go through our own little check to make sure everything's going to go flawlessly once the inspector arrives. Got my paperwork. I think I got everything I needed. He got a copy of all the receipts and everything, so I think we're good to go. I have no experience here, but from my understanding is basically he's got to come down, look at it, and just validate that the photos we sent him and the conversations we were having were 100% real, I assume. Otherwise, why did we go through all the trouble of sending the photos, sending the process, sending the receipts? So this almost seems like just like a formality thing to me. But who knows? Hopefully I'm not shocked or surprised by something that we weren't expecting. Anyway, going off on a tangent. The inspection's going to happen today. Assuming we pass, we can start finishing the car immediately. They're ready for it. So, and if the inspection fails, whatever the issue is, just going to have to get resolved, and I guess we just schedule another inspection. So hopefully we don't have to go down that road, but I don't know what that road looks like if we get to it. So, on my way there now. Once he gets there, I'll pick back up filming. And then, if I decide to do the detailing thing in the beginning, let me go ahead and set that up right now. So, of course, engine bay needed a good detailing, and actually, I think I could have actually done a better job. It looks way better, but there's still areas of opportunity that I gotta go ahead and sort through. So, probably gonna need some professional work done to it. I'm gonna still try to do it all myself. Why not? I do everything else myself. Why would I stop there? So I'm gonna have to get something a little bit more on the professional side. I used Chemical Guys basic all-purpose cleaner as my base. I kind of diluted it down a little bit. I didn't directly spray the engine bay per se. I used a detailing brush, which I purchased at Home Depot for maybe 10 bucks. What else I used? I used a bucket. And that was basically it, in a couple of shop rags. So really, I'm 20 bucks into this kit, and it did a very good job. For some of the tougher areas, I borrowed the degreaser that they have down at the shop. I really only hit the areas that were really bad, particularly on top of the engine block, the red Ferrari. There was just stuff that was caked up in there that whatever I was using, a little bit of diluted soap and water, just wasn't really breaking down. But I was really careful not to put degreaser everywhere. I have a buddy in New York who pressure washed his engine bay and ruined the boot that goes over the spark plug. So I'm not exactly sure how it happened, but nonetheless, he had a couple of them that did get ruined. So I wanted to make sure I didn't do the same thing or possibly ruin something else. Also, the car is so new, I haven't had it looked at by a professional. I don't know what else is lingering in there that could be a potential problem or a real problem today. So I just wanted to take extra precautions. I did it basically controlled at a spray bottle, a 99-cent spray bottle, and it took about, really it only took like an hour. So I think it looks way better. It's going to get the job done for now. And then in the future, I'll get to my buddy Kevin at Alpha Detailing, and we'll see if there's anything that he'll let me borrow. Maybe he'll do the job. I don't know. He's a good friend of mine, but I also don't want to pay somebody to do something that I can do. So we'll see how that all shakes out. So that's the setup to the detailing, and then wherever the sequence of the videos, I don't know. So we're going to go ahead and just cut ahead. first and foremost, we're in a garage here, so we're not out in the sun and the elements. And the motor's 100% cool. I just have a basic bucket here, a 99-cent spray bottle, and a painting detailing brush, I think it was at Home Depot. It was like $10. I put the Chemical Guys all-purpose cleaner inside the bucket, and I diluted it down with some water. I didn't need it to be that strong, as the brush is really going to break up a lot of that surface dirt. And then we're going to go back over it later on with the brush again, and if we need to, some heavier stuff, but nothing on here is really that bad. Mostly just surface dust and debris from sitting. Most of what you're seeing originally was the radiator fluid when we were purging the system was burping up a lot of the fluid, so that was going to come up really easily with soap and water anyway. So we're just hitting the brush in all the areas that I can get my hands into, and again, we're going to wipe it all down later on, and any of the areas that just need extra attention, we'll just go over once again. So really less than $20 in this entire system. Controlling the water with the spray bottle so that we're not soaking the entire engine bay, and really paying attention one section at a time. Alright, in a second here we're going to break out the big guns and use engine degreaser. The top of that motor there, that cast iron, is actually textured, so some of the grime and debris kind of just sat in there and caked over time, probably baked in the sun. Really hard to get it with just traditional soap and water, so I diluted this down 50%. Again, hitting it with the brush and the water spray bottle, and as well as my bucket to kind of again dilute it down so we're not getting that engine degreaser everywhere, particularly up against the firewall there. Just underneath the engine block are the belts, so I just really wanted to make sure that I didn't put engine degreaser or something kind of seep down in there and I made a mess of myself. So really controlling the area again, hitting this one step at a time. Really important to be patient and take your time when you're doing this. You don't want to get crazy or cut corners by just saturating the entire engine bay and then just spraying it down. So this is the recommended way for me anyway, if you're going to tackle a job like this. Here we're really just going to take our time and go through with some clean rags and make sure that we pick up as much of the water and the residual soap as best as possible. Really get into the cracks of things here and see if there's any areas that we need to re-go over with our soap and water or our engine degreaser. So we're going to wipe everything down. I do use a little bit of some Arm & Hammer interior wipes on some of the areas not touching the motor, but particularly those plastic jackets on the side walls of the engine bay there. Really that's the only places I touched, and then the trunk lid, that's all fiberglass and plastic on the opposite side of the trunk lid, just to bring back that original shine. But I do not recommend touching anything else in that engine bay with any other type of chemical, just for fear of who knows, maybe even fire, which is pretty common on these cars.